Here is something weird that has always creeped me out. Abandoned cars. If you've ever come across one before, I'm sure you know what I mean. It's a car that's been left alone for a really long time. Maybe it's covered in dust or pollen. Perhaps the tires have lost all air and it now slumps down as though it's defeated. Sometimes plants have grown in and around it while spiders cover it in webs. No one ever gets inside of these cars. They just sit there, abandoned. I can only imagine the story behind each one of them. Sometimes they're really old cars and you think, maybe it doesn't work anymore and that's why no one drives it. But other times they look modern. So why is it here? Something about abandoned cars seems so unsettling to me. Why haven't they moved? Who owns them? Is this what happens when you die and have no one to look after your affairs? Where I live, there are multiple parking lots and tons of people around. I'd say 99% of the cars that are parked here are driven at least every few days. That 1% of cars that is left behind, that's what makes me really uncomfortable. Every week or two, I take my trash and recycling to a distant part of the complex. And at the end of my long walk, there is always this one SUV, sitting alone, wasting away. It's been there for the past 6 years. It used to move between different spots and seemed to be cared for, but now it just sits there and lets the elements take over. Its tires are slowly deflating, there's plants growing all around it, its windshield and hood is covered in a thick layer of dust. Leaves, sticks, and other debris has collected underneath it for seasons. There is no life left in this vehicle. Every time I walk past this SUV, I get such a creepy vibe from it. So what happened? Was it too expensive to repair? Did the owner die? Did they get arrested? Maybe they ran away, or were even kidnapped. Or perhaps it was a stolen car and it was abandoned here. Every one of these vehicles has a story and none of us know them. I just think that's so fascinating. Imagine someone getting out of prison or escaping a kidnapper, only to find their car was considered abandoned and disposed of by the state. It's probably a rare thing, but I'm sure it's happened before. Now there are plenty of obvious situations like an abandoned car on someone's property, or a broken down and abandoned car on the side of the road. But the really haunting ones, at least to me, are the abandoned cars that are left in deserted locations or superpopulated locations. An example would be a car abandoned deep in the woods. Maybe they went out on a camping trip and got lost or attacked by an animal, or could never find their car again. That whole subject right there, that's a video in and of itself. Don't get me started on the woods. They're so relaxing, but at the same time, they're so creepy and unsettling. Throw in an abandoned car and now we have a horror movie. The other location is even creepier in my mind, and that is the cars that are left and abandoned in airport parking lots and garages, never to be driven home again. But what's more likely is that something happened to the owner on the plane or in that foreign place, and they aren't coming back. I think these situations really haunt me the most. Sure, it's possible someone moved away and couldn't bring their car or afford to bring their car. It's totally possible. Like I said earlier, all of these abandoned cars have a story. Some are boring and uneventful, but others have a really sad or scary backstory. The next time you're walking somewhere and you come across a long since abandoned car, stop and take it in. Imagine the story behind how it arrived in that location. Look at its current condition and think about how long it's been there. Take it as a reminder that life is short. You could be here today and gone tomorrow. It's a sad thought, absolutely, but it's true. One day, your car could be the one someone is looking at. I wonder what story they'll give you. My name is Alltime. Until next time, never stop searching.